They say there was once a game unlike any other, that infiltrated arcades in '81 when gaming fever was hot. It captivated the youth, who lined up in a magnetic trance to play it, at a price more than any coins were worth. They would succumb to an addiction more powerful than any drug and be struck down by an illness more dreadful than any virus. Memory loss, nightmares, seizures, possibly suicide were all attributed to its ambiguous wake of terror. And then it vanished like a specter in the night. Its name was Polybius. Well, damn. I gotta play it then! This review is going to be a little different than usual because I can't show any footage of the game if it doesn't exist. They say it only existed in the Portland, Oregon area and that it was only there for a week or a month and that there were only a few of them, or just one, or as I've been inclined to believe, none. It breaks the rarity scale. It's so rare it probably never existed, but nobody really knows for sure, or those who know can't prove it. Much of the myth could be explained with facts. There was a game called Polyplay in '85, which may be what people are actually remembering. It was 8 games in one, which seems to attribute to the conflicting descriptions of Polybius, or however it's pronounced. The most common description was that it was some kind of space shooter. Also, there's actual reports of gamers getting sick around that time, probably from playing too much video games. Supposedly, somebody got a migraine headache from playing an early release of Tempest, but even more severe and very sad to say, someone died of a pre-existing heart condition shortly after entering his initials for the high score in Berserk. The most specific account I know of which could have been the origin of the Polybius legend is when a 12-year-old boy was playing asteroids in a long marathon to get the high score and got a stomach sickness. This was in November '81 in Portland, the time and place of Polybius. A big part of the legend is that the Polybius machines were visited by mysterious men in black suits. FBI, CIA, MIB, your usual alphabet soup of government conspiracy. Some say Polybius was part of a top-secret experiment using humans as the guinea pigs, even connecting it to an actual mind control program called MK Ultra. Another possible source of the legend could be actual reports of FBI agents raiding arcades around that time where the owners were suspected of gambling. There was also a game called Battlezone, which had a special version designed for the military to use as a combat simulator for training purposes. There was also a movie, The Last Starfighter, where a teenager gets the high score in a game, but the game turns out to be a tool for recruiting fighters in an intergalactic war. The movie was in '84, a few years after the Polybius legend is said to have occurred, so the movie could have been inspired by it, or the other way around. No early references of Polybius can be traced. The myth started getting traction later. Sometime between '98 to 2000, the CoinOp website, which is a resource for arcade listings, added an entry for Polybius, but with hardly any information. This is the earliest confirmed mention of the game anywhere. In 2003, it was featured in GamePro magazine, and in 2006, someone by the name Stephen Roach posted a lengthy statement saying that he was one of the game designers shedding light on the story, but I think it's a hoax. On the internet, anybody can say anything without any basis in fact. The internet is made up of 90% prime cut, free range, grade B bullshit. In fact, when a bull takes a shit, it decomposes into digital matter, which evaporates into cyber airwaves and becomes internet. Now you know. Whatever the case, the Polybius legend caught on like wildfire. Many people have made playable PC games, even fake arcade cabinets, a homebrew Atari 2600 game, even a PS4 game. There's been fan films, documentaries, 1,000 YouTube videos. It appeared on The Simpsons. Everybody's done it to death. The only thing that hasn't been done is for somebody to play the actual game and document it publicly. Even if the game once existed, it may be gone forever, and that's probably for the best. I'd hope nobody would ever come face to face with a game so destructive. But then again, I also hope nobody would ever play Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, but that happened. So in that same tradition, I'm going to subject myself to the torment because I found a possible lead to Polybius. If it's real, consider this a test to see what psychological effects it may have on me.
So I'm at an arcade reseller right now, and my instinct tells me not to reveal the location just yet until I can determine if this is the current resting place of Polybius. Now, the owners recently acquired a large batch of games from another arcade shop that was liquidating their supplies, and they were kind to let me see the invoice, and on it is Polybius. It's probably a joke, but they did nothing to draw attention to it. They didn't post anything about it online. I was actually waiting for them to bring it up, but they didn't. So the only way to know is to see if it's here. They granted me permission and full access to the place, which is great. And like, look right here, like this is the Simpsons arcade. So there's so many great things here. I should be checking out all these games, but gotta stay focused. Well, this is Polybius. It is probably a fake. You know, like I said before, a lot of people have made fake cabinets. There's no artwork on the side or anything, which, you know, fits the description pretty much. But the real test would be see if I could turn this thing on. Okay, let's cross our fingers here. I'm going to borrow a power supply from this machine here. Here we go. Let's see what happens. The marquee's up. We have the marquee. And somebody put a lot of effort into this, if it's a fake. If it's a fake. What if it's real? Let's say it is. It's a slim chance, but you never know. What if it has dangerous effects, and if those effects can be inflicted over a video recording? It doesn't have to be supernatural. It could legitimately cause epilepsy or something. I wouldn't want to endanger anybody. I want to do the right thing, so I'm not going to show the game, at least not until I fully test it on myself. So for now, I'll just describe the game the best I can. Well, it's a game. Is it a good game? Not really. It's an average early 80s arcade game. If it is early 80s, it's probably fake. But no way of knowing for sure. I describe it as Tempest. That's probably the best way to describe it. You're flying through a three-dimensional tunnel with green and black vector type graphics. There's cubes coming at you, and you're a triangle, and you move around and try to catch these cubes. And that's really about all there is to it, I think. It's a shame I'm surrounded by so many awesome games, but I'm stuck here playing this. It's not that special. I should probably just show you the game, but I want to wait a bit. I just want to play it safe. I'll post the video for the night. I'll sleep on it, and let me know what you think.
So I posted my first day's test of playing Polybius, and I've gotten lots of responses. Lots of people are saying it's fake, which I agree with so far. I haven't felt any weird side effects from playing it or anything. I just thought it was an average arcade game. And even if it was a real arcade game that was made in the 80s and called Polybius, that would only confirm that the game is real. But all the stories about addiction, memory loss, nightmares, seizures, that could all be explained without the supernatural, like all the stuff I talked about before, like the gamer who got sick while playing Asteroids, probably had more to do with him playing the game for so long and drinking lots of soda. With any game, you got to take a break. Speaking of which, I think I've taken a long enough break from Polybius, so I'm about to go back and play it some more. But first, I just want to read this really interesting email I got here, which I'm sure is a hoax, but Either way, it's pretty interesting. So I'll just read it here. Big fan of your work, but I'll get straight to the point. Saw your Polybius Day 1 video. It's real, judging from cabinet and your description. Don't expect you to take my word, but it matches everything my father told me before he died. He worked for a secret government agency in charge of investigating unexplained phenomena. They found Polybius in arcade. They removed it to keep public safe, kept it contained in a secret facility. My father was in charge of looking after it and became infatuated with playing. It took over his mind. He was forced to leave the agency. Then he smuggled the game out. He hid it somewhere. He was sentenced to prison for federal theft. There died a raving lunatic. I never knew where he hid the game, but I've always believed he hid it in plain sight in another arcade. But it possibly sat in a back room. It was dull cabinet, no artwork. The owners possibly kept it in the back to leave more space for more appealing games on main floor. Now it ends up at the place you're at. You must not continue. I know this sounds silly, but please do not play further. You must destroy the game. Destroy it? I only do that to bad games. This game was actually pretty average, or I don't know. It's worth playing.
Okay, giving Polybius another chance now. You know, I'm starting to think it's above average. A little bit. It's simple, but it's intuitive. I'm tempted to show it because it's really nothing crazy, but I just want to be safe. This is one of those games that repeats itself. In many of those old arcade games, you just play the same thing over and over again to get a high score. This is a lot like that. Not much left to say, so just one more game, and then I'll go home. Let it set on free play so I don't need any coins. So I've played through twice more now. Thrice, actually. And I'm beginning to see more merits in the gameplay. In fact, if you were to put this into perspective, if this actually came out in the 80s, I may rank it as one of the best classic arcade games. Alright, I'm getting ready to go home for the night. I think I have enough material here. Let me just see. Oh, how long have I been here? Jeez. Well, I've definitely gotten enough footage, of me, that is. I know I haven't shown anything of the game, but even if I did, I don't think it would do it justice, because the thing is, when you play it, it doesn't demand any kind of urgent level of thinking. It's sort of like watching a waterfall flow. It's constant, predictable, natural. Okay, I really got to get going. I just switched the card here. This is number whatever. So I'm all set up. I'm ready for tomorrow, but I don't think there's much left to do. Although I remembered one tiny piece of trivia. Polybius, or Polybius, whichever it is, was the name of a Greek historian. He covered the rise of the Romans and invented the Polybius square, which is a form of code that translates letters into numbers by their placement on a grid. Well, it's very complicated to explain. Oh, sorry. I was going to say something, but I forgot. Oh, yeah. There's a little piece of trivia I remembered. Polybius was the name of a Greek historian. He covered the rise of the Romans and invented the Polybius square. Did I say that already? Okay, I'm done. Just one more game.
So this is day 3. I was going to come up with something more to say here, but I really just, it would help if I just had the game in front of me right now so I could play it. I know I've played it a lot so far, but I just need a little more. There's not much to it, but I really just, I don't know. I just need to play it again.
I might have to commend the game designers. This may be the greatest fucking game ever made. Who made it, you may ask? Well, according to the game and to popular legend, it was a company called Sinnesschlossen, which I've heard is a bad translation from English to German to create a fake German compound word meaning sense delete or sensory deprivation. It seems way too convenient. I don't feel like my senses are deprived at all. I feel like my senses are heightened more than ever. I could see every pixel, every speck of light. I could smell the paint on the Pac-Man machine in the next room. I could hear the crickets, the rats clawing on the sewer walls. I can hear the colors. I can hear the colors. Oh, I can't stop playing! I can't stop! Okay, I need to show this right here. The camera was pointing right at the screen. And there's the tripod. Haven't moved it. It's right there. How did the tripod get there? And why was it looking at the screen? All right, so I'm about to upload tonight's footage. But I took a look at some of it first. And I have about an hour of footage of the game. And keep in mind, I have no intention of showing the game yet. So I have no recollection of doing that. But the crazy thing, right before that, this happens. I swear I have no recollection of doing that. Or this. All right, so I deliberately locked myself in using my own word combination lock for my camera case. And I've tried every word that I would normally use, and nothing works. So I did this shit on purpose. I changed the fucking combination lock. Filmed myself doing it. Like, what the fuck? There is a big loading door on the other side of all this somewhere. So I can't get to that. I have some options here. I could do some damage to the door, or I could just wait for somebody to come. But I think I'm going to throw in the towel here and say, come get me. The location is at... Ah! Not yet. I'll let you know when. It's day 3 or whatever it is. I have a high score, and I don't remember when I got the high score. At 35, 31, 1151. I just want to get that again. And once I do that, I'll call it quits. No, I won't. I'll just keep fucking playing because I can't stop playing this fucking game. Just look at it. No, don't look at it. Every day I have to keep editing out footage of the game because it wants to be seen. It fucking wants to be seen. My mind has been open to things that I never wanted to know. Things that I see that nobody, all the connections with Greek, Polybius, no. More like the ferryman on the river Styx. You give him a coin, he takes you across the river into the underworld. Somebody come get me! The location is... It won't let me go. 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 It won't let me. It won't let me. Come get me. The location. It won't let me let myself. Look at the game. Look. No, don't look at it. Look at. Don't look at it. Look at. Don't. Die. If you can keep me from getting out,
I can keep you from showing yourself, you fucking game! Don't look at it! Don't look at it! That high score. That's not a high score, it's a message.
Yeah, the Polybius square. 35 is P, and then 31 is L. 11 is A, and then it's play. It's play. The combination's play. That's it. That's it. It worked. It worked. It worked. Oh! Oh! You fucking game! The only way to let me go is if I show the game. I have no choice. I can't stand this anymore. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Just don't look. Don't look. Turn the video off right now. Once you see it, it's in you forever.
What's going on? Hello? Well, the camera's here. Well, there's the game. Ah! Ah!